Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to HOI4, Man the Guns, and our Japanese miniseries, The Pacific War. So it's been a while guys, it's been like a week since the last episode. I do apologize for that wasn't intended. I was supposed to have a video last Sunday, but unfortunately I ended up not being able to get it done, and then I had to work all week. So I've just been working a lot of shifts. This is actually my first day off. Give me an opportunity to record this episode. And yeah, any free time I did have to record the USA series as well as some of the other things we're doing on the channel. So we're here now, and that's what's important. And you'll notice that we are 1 year off from the last episode. And that's another reason why this kind of took a little while, guys, is because we did have a time jump. I posted in the comments of that last episode, made a pinned comment there that we were going to be doing a time jump because, frankly, we needed to rebuild our fleet. After that battle with the Americans, we lost a very large chunk of our screens. So I felt it was needed to spend a little bit of time building the fleet, and frankly, it just didn't seem like it was going to be that interesting. And it was mostly going to be like little invasions of little islands and stuff. So I felt it was good to do a time jump. So here we are, exactly 1 year later, and this would be the second. Now we're in the third year of the war. We've completed 2 years of conflict against the Allies, and since we did have such a gap, a year's time, I wanted to go ahead and take a little moment to fill you guys in on everything that you missed. So that last episode ended on December 11th, 1940. At the end of that month, so one of the final actions of that year, Yamamoto engaged in a fleet battle with Admiral Spruance, the Americans. In that battle, we lost 3 destroyers and a couple planes, but we were able to sink 12 light cruisers. So a pretty big win for us. That's a lot of light cruisers, and just losing a couple destroyers for it, not bad at all. In mid-January 1941, Yamamoto again engaged in another battle, and this was also called the Battle of Iwo Jima. I think both of the naval battles were called the Battle of Iwo Jima, so I think this is the second battle of Iwo Jima. This time he engaged with Admiral King, and we had no losses in this particular battle, and we sunk 9 destroyers. So these are the 2 major naval conflicts that happened over the period that you missed. Frankly, there wasn't a lot, guys. We did sink, 1 destroyer here, 1 light cruiser there, a lot of convoys, but these were the only 2 major battles, and they didn't even involve enemy capital ships. I'll kind of show you where I've seen the American capital ships once we finish our recap, and I kind of show you the situation in the world. I'll show you where I think their hunting grounds are. In that same month of January, we invaded Ceylon, and I wanted to bring this up because I know some people were concerned that we weren't going to get it completed, so we did get that taken care of. In the following month, in February, the USSR declared war on Afghanistan and Iran. That did result in both of them joining the Allies, which then of course brought us into the conflict. So we ended up having to fight both of them. We attacked Afghanistan from behind. We were able to conquer much of their territory, so a lot of that resulted in going into our hands. We also attacked Iran and pushed pretty deep into their territory, so a lot of that land went to us too. So Afghanistan was defeated relatively quickly. Iran was defeated in May. Now a few weeks after the war with Afghanistan and Iran began, the Germans declared war on the Soviet Union. So that did distract them quite a bit, and that was one reason why we were able to advance a little bit quicker than they were able to. So yes, war with the Germans and the Soviets is taking place now. And shortly after that, the Soviet Union then attacked Iraq. So once again, we were invading into Middle Eastern territory. At the end of May, we also invaded New Zealand. So I'd long wanted to invade here to finally cut the Australians off from any American aid or resources. And so we completed the invasion of New Zealand pretty quickly. They didn't have too many defending forces. I believe maybe 3 divisions were defending all of New Zealand. In July, we annexed Manchukuo, or Manchu, however you want to pronounce that. Annexed them. So we now have all of Manchuria in our empire, as you can see over here on the left. This is now all in our hands. So to get those resources that some people want me to trade for, that's that steel, which is super helpful because we need that, as well as a bit of aluminum. Now the war in Iran and Iraq ended up going quite well for us. We cut off a ton of allied divisions, American, British, and French divisions, and cut them off and completely destroyed them, causing massive casualties to the Allies. But shortly after that, after we had gotten Iraq to capitulate and we started pushing into Syria, we started facing a lot more issues. The Allies really started pumping troops into the area, started pumping American, French, and British divisions into the area, and we got bogged down. Started having a lot of issues. And I'm going to go ahead and show you that situation now. Let's go ahead and zip on over to the Middle East, kind of show you how things are going. So obviously we've conquered all this area here, got all that nice juicy oil over here, got all this territory in our hands as well. This is what's left of Afghanistan. We got some of it, Soviets got the rest. Looking at the current situation over here, which once again we did get a lot of factories and dockyards and oil here. We pushed into here, started pushing into Syria, and this is where we started having some difficulty. I've taken a little bit of provinces here, but man, we've been here for months, man, just staring off at them. You'll notice that they actually left here, so that's a new development that I didn't see, so we'll probably take advantage of that. Actually, we'll start pushing in here. Might as well. Let's send a couple divisions over this way, and in fact, we're going to have to send divisions that way as well if we want to cut those guys off and then get this tank division over here. Probably going to want to send a couple divisions over there, and these guys could maybe attack. I'm not entirely sure if they can attack from here, but what we're going to do is we're still going to push right there. There's no divisions there. So I talked all that shit about how we've been bogged down here, but yeah, it's not looking too bad now. But the last time I looked at it, we were having a lot of issues here, guys. I've been here for months trying to push forward. They must have pulled the troops out. I don't know if there's been some developments in Europe. There has been an invasion of Italy. They've taken Naples, but they'll probably get pushed back soon. But here's how the Russian-German front is going. Here, the Romanian front is advancing as well. You'll notice that we have troops along the Soviet borders. That's because I'm looking to invade them, guys. Just taking a look at the, I guess we're not gonna be able to see them in this conflict because we're not in it, I believe. So yeah, we won't be able to see them in here. We will actually have to look over here, which we'll dip back in there and look at the casualties here in a minute. So let's take a look at the German-Soviet war. Soviet Union is currently 60% towards capitulation. They have taken 2.38 million casualties, while the Germans have taken 1.42 million. Italians 527,000, and overall it's going quite well for the Axis, and we're gonna get involved in this. I'm just kind of waiting to the right moment, and maybe when they get closer to Moscow, and then we're gonna invade because we don't have enough troops to cover the entire border with the Soviets. It's a massive border, but we are gonna try and invade in here and get these rich the oil fields that are up here in the north. Obviously we don't need oil anymore, but you can never have too much oil, guys. And we're gonna invade up here too. Once again, not enough troops to gain any territory. This border here is pretty much undefended. I got one division heading over here. Also the border with Mongolia, completely undefended. I just don't have the troop numbers, guys. We do have a lot of troops over here though, so that we can advance into this territory. I'd like to get all this into my hand before they capitulate. So we'll very likely declare war on the Soviet Union pretty soon here. I was trying to wrap this up, but it's just been kind of taking forever. Taking all of the British territory here. I sent naval invasions to grab all this up. Even got the little islands here. All the way down to here, down to Madagascar. Took all the islands around here. All the Allied islands. Of course, we took all this territory here. All of this is ours. We're about to launch. I missed 2 islands here. So I got one division to come wrap these 2 islands up. So that we'll have all of them, and the Brits won't have any bases for operation. So we'll be likely launching that. I don't think they're quite ready yet. Yeah, 3 of 7 days. So we'll be launching that soon. You notice we have all this set up here, and you'll also see some invasions. It's going to be one of the goals here for this episode. We'll be talking about that later. I just want to show you what we have accomplished here. Obviously, New Zealand's all in our hands. Now, dipping through the Pacific Islands, you notice that we once again have conquered the majority of them throughout this area. All of these areas here, and we've even conquered a couple American islands. You'll see we have Wake Island in our hands. Obviously we have Guam as well. We might have done that on camera though. We have Wake Island, and then we also have Phoenix Island, I want to say. Yeah, I want to say Phoenix Island right here was American as well. So yeah, a couple American islands have been seized, and we also have a two island. So that's been taken from the Americans as well. And so that's pretty much the current situation. That's what's gone on over the year. We've just been slowly advancing and building up our fleet. So let's take a look at 1, casualties, and then 2, we'll take a look at ship losses. So if you look at our casualties here, we lost 228,000 casualties. 106 of those was from the United States, 64,000 from the United Kingdom. We lost 16,000 to Iran. That was a costly invasion overall. We did advance pretty quick though, so I guess there's that. This music here is a little bit loud. I'm going to change the song here. Looking at the Allies, France has taken 125,000 casualties. We caused almost 85 of that. Just seeing other countries that we kind of really played a massive role in. Obviously, we caused almost all the casualties to Afghanistan. Well, you can't see the Soviets. Never mind. Let me take that back. You just can't see what the Soviets did. Australians, 78,000 casualties. Yeah, this is of course only showing our side. You can't see what the Soviets or the Axis have done since they're in different factions. Looking at United Kingdom, 527,000 casualties against us. We did 317,000 of that. South Africa, we did 80,000 of that. And most importantly, the Americans. The Americans have taken 288,000 casualties, so a little bit more than us, and we've killed 169,000. So more closer numbers than what's gone on with the British. We definitely have handled the British much better than we have the Americans overall. Peru's lost 109,000 casualties. You'll notice that Venezuela took a ton of casualties. They are also capitulated now, so they've been defeated, unfortunately. But we still do have some American allies, in the South and Central America. So that's that. Let's take a look at the ships. So we see the losses here. So in the current month, we've lost 1 submarine. It doesn't look great, but only for 9 convoys here. But the current month hasn't been going very long. Taking a look at the last month, we sunk 2 American destroyers, lost 1 convoy, sunk 47 convoys. Let's take a look at the whole entire year. So destroyers, they lost 20 destroyers. 11 of those American, 9 British. Submarines, we lost 1 submarine. They lost 28. 20 of those were Americans, so really sinking that American submarine fleet. As far as convoys go, we lost 67, while the Allies have lost, and this is not looking at, I want to look at the Allies, I don't think it matters, but the Allies have lost 1,095 convoys. So those cruisers aren't included in that because the cruiser battle did happen in December. But you kind of see here they lost 31 cruisers, 52 submarines, 78 destroyers. We obviously lost that 1 battleship, and then 1,492 convoys. So, and that doesn't seem right because I think we've killed a lot more than that, honestly. So that's the current situation in the navies. And the final thing I wanted to show you guys, because somebody had requested this, is to take a look at our ship designs, because obviously we've had some adjustments. We've been changing things here, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. So the new carriers, 1940 carriers that we have, are called the EOs. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that in Japanese, but I'm going to pronounce it EO, and they are pretty decent. We'll take a look at them here. Carriers, and pretty much not that different than what you guys saw before, I believe. The you know what? You might have seen 1940 carriers. We do have new equipment on them, though, so you can kind of see what we're rocking. It's a little bit better. They don't have better anti-air, but good radar, and we have these good secondaries, the dual purpose, which of course does increase both anti-air and light attacks. Pretty good overall. So that's the carriers, the newest battleships that we have. I think I need to build the 1940 battleship still. I don't think I've done that yet. Yeah, I don't think I've even researched the 1940 battleships. Kind of behind on that. But we do have cruisers and destroyers, new cruisers and destroyers. In fact, we don't have destroyers. I take that back. Yeah, it looks like we're short on the destroyers. Yeah, we haven't researched that either. Frankly, I've been working on getting all the equipment, so that's the reason why we don't have some of the newer ship hulls. We do have the light cruisers though. If you've been watching my American campaign, then you kind of know, what this looks like, honestly, because I've taken the same designs because I really want to test them out in combat. Because the American one, we haven't really got to test them out in combat very much. So once again, we got attack cruisers and support cruisers. This is what the attack cruisers look like. They have torpedoes. Once again, lots of the secondaries. These are the rapid fire gun dual purpose secondaries, and then we also have a gun right there, and pretty good armor, but lots of torpedoes is what you'll notice here, is that we have level 3 torpedoes, so pretty good overall. Pretty good light attack there, obviously good torpedo attack. Those are the attack cruisers. We do have the torpedo cruiser design, but I've been using these ones because these do force you to get torpedoes, 3 torpedoes, which is a little bit much, I think. And then these are the support cruisers. So they're a little bit more designed to kind of help out the fleet in other ways. Anti-air, surface detection. Of course, depth charges are on those as well. So that's how we're looking. The destroyers are pretty basic, honestly. That we have an anti-sub destroyer here that just has depth charges. That's pretty much the job they're fulfilling for us. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how we're looking. We're still 1936 submarines too. I'm just kind of, like I said, I've been focusing on the technology for the ships. So if we want to look at how we're doing, we've got most of the, goddamn, we got all the parts, I believe, with the exception of the one I'm researching right here, which is the snorkel for the submarine. But we don't have the hulls. We still need 3 hulls. So I was trying to get ship modules first. So that is all I needed to show you guys to catch you up. As I said, it wasn't a whole lot. It's mostly just building up. I guess we could look at our fleets, though, of course, and you guys can see how they've been built up. We have Yamamoto now once again has escorts. He has 4 carriers now, too. So we gave him an extra carrier, one of the newer carriers that we've just built, which is the Fleet Carrier 2B. And we have the same amount of battleships. I don't think we've really built any battleships. I'm not entirely sure. There might be 1 or 2, but it doesn't look like. It looks like all the same battleships. But newer light cruisers, newer destroyers, not decent, pretty decent overall. Looking at Kogo's fleet, he's still been doing the same tasks. Really hadn't been assigning him much. He's just been taking out submarines. Lost some submarines here, but I think we're replacing them now. And Ozawa's fleet, he also has another additional carrier. He now has 3 carriers. And I think pretty much everything else is the same, with the exception that we've now filled him up on destroyers. So he has a lot of destroyers. And that's pretty much it, guys. We've just been building ships up, trying to get the escort situation fixed after we took those heavy casualties in those battles with Americans. So in this episode, the main focus is going to be 1, invading Australia. We have multiple invasion points here, so hopefully we should succeed relatively easily. And then finally, we're going to really start pushing into American territory, guys. It's time to really start launching into their islands, the Johnson Atoll, Midway. We're going to try and seize Midway. We're going to try and get the Line Islands as well, and hopefully that all goes well. I don't think there's any ships in this area, guys. Not even protecting Hawaii right now. And where I think their fleets are located, they don't have any fleets on the Pacific. So I want to say it's just wide the fuck open. We could even invade Alaska if we wanted to simultaneously. But I think all the fleets are over in this area. Or this is where I've seen them. It only says 12 ships right now. But I have submarines patrolling here, and I've been sinking massive amounts of casualties in the Red Sea. But they keep sending very large fleets. I'm guessing this is them here. They've been sending some very large fleets after us in the Red Sea, but haven't had much success sinking our submarines. They've only sunk a couple of them, but yeah, big old fleets of like full carriers and battleships and all that good stuff. So I think that's where the American fleet is right now, patrolling the Mediterranean. So they're basically leaving the Pacific open to us, so that allows us to kind of do what we want. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I've been patrolling these areas for convoy raiding here for a while now with my submarines, with very little success because there's just no convoys going through here. So let's go ahead and now get the rest of the fleet moving over here. Now, there are still Americans here, I want to say, somewhere. Yeah, they still have their submarines over here. So they're not completely gone. But yeah, for the most part, they've really pulled back from the Pacific. They just decided they weren't going to fight here. So let's go ahead and get the fleets moving. We need these guys over here. So let's do the invasions first so that I can move my fleet. So let's go ahead and initiate these invasions. We're going to want to launch if everybody's ready. I think everybody is still waiting. We have 4 more days. So let's just let it play. So that we can try and get this accomplished. I guess we can dip over to the Middle East and see how things are going. Here, remember, we're just locking those troops down so that these troops can advance and take some territory and get Damascus and hopefully go get that port, because there's no other ports. So if we are able to seize the port, then that will allow us to cut off these divisions, because remember, Turkey is not part of the Allies. So that will allow us to cut off these divisions. It'll be incredibly helpful. Just got to wait for these divisions to get over here. It looks like they're attempting to stop us. We're going to have to attack them. Can't allow that, guys. Cannot allow it. We're going to bring more troops here as well. In fact, we should probably use one of these guys to attack over here to help out. And in fact, yeah, we'll just let more troops get over here. Come on, little guys, you can do it. You can do it. Get Damascus. Now, no, this is not really the focus of this series. You know, it's the Pacific series, so obviously the Middle East is not the Pacific. But while we're waiting for those invasions to be ready, we might as well watch this. So the tanks are ready to deploy there, but unfortunately they can't. So let's have this guy do this. Oh, there might be more than one division there. Yep, there's a lot of divisions protecting the port. So much for us doing that. That's clearly not going to work. These guys are, man, I really want to, I want to lock those guys down, but I'm not able to do it. Can these tanks get there in time? Because that would cut them off as well. Unfortunately, we're not able to do it. Yeah, these guys are attempting to leave here. Let's see if we can't lock those down for just a little while. Get the rest of the infantry here. and see if we can't cut these guys off from supply. We're so close. So let's go ahead and have another division attack right there. And then this guy's going to support here. All right, there we go. We have taken it. Excellent. So all these divisions over here are now cut off from supply. Let's let them sit on it a little bit. Think about it. Think about themselves. They've been punished. And then we're going to come over here, and we should probably launch an attack there as well to lock those guys down. Try and cut off these guys if we can. And we will need to bring in an additional division. But overall, yeah, it looks like we're going to get another large batch of divisions destroyed, guys, because there are just, a ton of them. You saw them all here. What's that, like 15 divisions or something like that cut off and ready to be destroyed. So let's go ahead and launch our invasions, guys. Let's do all these guys. So the red army's going to be going. Well, the yellow army's going too. That's fine. And they're invading that little islands over here. So that'll work, I think. And then we want these guys going as well. I have additional troops here set up for our invasion. Yeah, these guys here. Why are they not invading? Are they not able to? Okay, that's the wrong army. Excuse me. We need this guy. Having them be the same color is not working out well for us. So these guys are hopefully going to be able to invade. It does look like we don't control the region. Or something. Not entirely sure why they're not invading, actually. Do we not have... Yeah, we have troops assigned there. Alright, I don't know why they're not launching their invasion. Oh, they do not have the preparation done yet. Alright, well, we'll invade here. That'll at the very least distract the Australians, and hopefully they'll pump troops over there to resist us. So I think that'll work out just fine. Let's make sure that the Soviets don't capitulate on us. I think it's about time to declare war on them. I was waiting to get that. I mean, that one division's not going to stop anything over here. It's not that much of a threat, honestly. And it does seem that fleet is back, or at least a few of them are. We got those destroyers over here. So yeah, this is, once again, not that important. So we're going to go ahead and cut, as we've been doing with the series. The series where did we finish a large ship? I'm not entirely sure. Let's just take a look here. We finished that battleship, the Yamato. Okay, that's probably not the battleship I'd like to be named the Yamato, but that's fine. So we'll probably move them into this fleet here, our main fleet under Yamamoto. Let's do this and get these guys going over there now. All right, it's good that we got a battleship done. I'm quite pleased with that. And let's go ahead and place these into... Let's get the attack cruisers going, I think. It'd probably be wise. All right, excellent. Our short steel, I've been trying to fix the issue. Trying not to trade with anybody if I can avoid it. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to avoid trading. We'll try for a little bit because I'm actually currently attempting to build infrastructure up in some of these steel places. So that might fix the problems. All right, my friends, it is about time to declare war on the Soviet Union. We've almost wrapped up the troops here. Yeah, we destroyed all the ones that are over here. Just need to take this port here. Having some difficulty doing that, though. There's a lot of divisions there holding that port. But we're able to destroy most of these divisions, which is excellent news. And let's go ahead and get these guys moving over here as well, so we can just try and help out and get that wrapped up. Got troops invading this way. At the very least, we'll probably try and seize the Suez Canal. Keep the allies from being able to come into the Indian Ocean any further. I did have to pull my submarines out of this area. We started taking too high of casualties, guys, so we did have to pull them back a little bit. Let's go ahead and start pushing forward here. Let's see if we can't grab that. I don't know where you guys are going, but how about stop it? Let's lock those divisions down, try and get these guys cut off. Let's push forward over here as well. Everybody's moving for whatever reason. But yeah, you guys come on over here. And yeah, we're going to be attacking the Soviet Union here momentarily. Just wanted to show you guys what the current situation is around the world. I have seized here. That means we could delete that. And this, I think this army needs to go meet with its buddies in a 2-island. They'll probably be part of the Alaskan invasion force, I would assume. We got some more Marines that I can send there as well. So we'll keep those submarines here just because they've sunk quite a few. In fact, now that we've pulled them back from certain areas, like we don't really need them there. And we don't really need them here. But where we have been sinking a ton of ships is these areas with very little resistance, so might as well continue sinking them there. So we'll bring the submarines over to there so that they can continue their forces. They're very good job they've been doing with their convoy rating. Sending all these Marines over here, just trying to get these ports taken. We've already got Marines attacking this way, seizing land, so that's going splendid. And we've also started to send these invasions as well, so we're slowly getting these islands taken. These guys, we have reached our limit for invasions, so I wasn't able to send a lot of these guys, unfortunately. Yeah, we still at the limit. Until those Australian invasions are done, we're kind of limited. Alright, so let's go and declare war on the Soviets. There's not a lot of territory left to take, so that's the reason why we are doing it now, finally. So let's declare war on them. We don't have the border, once again, we don't have the border completely defended, but that's alright. The AI is going to be doing all these, I believe. I don't see why I would want to control this. This is going to be a monstrous invasion. So these guys are going to be attacking across here. We already have all the lines built for those. And then this purple army will be attacking as well, though of course there's not really any many purple troops over here. These guys can go and launch their attack though, so let's go ahead and make that happen. Let's see if the AI can't accomplish it. I don't know. This might be throwing a lot of manpower away, but we have a lot of manpower, so I think it's worth it. Bulgaria has joined the Axis. Alright, interesting. It took them a while to finally get involved. And it's kind of weird that it happened right when we declared war, isn't it? I don't know exactly why that is. Does the Axis see us as a threat? I thought we were all friends. So some of these guys, let's try and get this wrapped up actually. Let's send like all of these divisions here. Have them come over here just to try and get this finished up here. Alright, and you guys can come on over to this front here. So all these guys are, some reason, want to really be assigned over there. Let's try and push forward here, see if we can't cut these troops off. We're going to have to lock them down, attack them real quick. We do need to get these guys wrapped up, so we're going to send another division to help them out. Really trying to get this finished, but having some difficulty here, guys. Come on. I don't know how many divisions I have to send there, but they have a lot, apparently. No, they only have 2 divisions. They're just fighting hard, that's all. Alright, so they are going to be able to push forward on some of this territory, but, I mean, they're so damn close to capitulation, guys, that I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I think we should be able to get some land here. If our troops can advance rapid enough, because, you know, they kind of take their fucking time. So we might force them to go, so they go a little bit quicker, and see if we can't make this happen in a timely manner. How about all you guys go attack up there? And this one as well. I want you guys to go grab that. I really want this in my control. It's 98 oil, and the Romanian border is encroaching upon it. So obviously we don't want the Axis to get it, so we're going to try and beat them there. See if we can't speed towards the city so that will be in our hands, that 98 oil. We got the tanks currently going that way as well. Let's see if these guys can't do it this way. These guys are probably going to get there first. I don't see how we can be beaten, honestly. So advancing over that way. Obviously not enough troops along this border to really advance. Should be able to push forward here, though. Maybe. I don't know. Looks like they're doing a garbage job with it. You put it in AI hands, and then they do a shit job. Doing our invasions here, we are meeting a little bit of resistance, or at least in that port. New Zealand has been resisting us, but Sydney seems wide open. And yes, also Tasmania. Seems like we're able to land here pretty easy too. Excellent, so we're able to get that wrapped up. And there we go, lovely. Probably sent more divisions than needed. So let's go ahead and get these guys deploying here. Get this all wrapped up. And we can go and delete this, which will open up for our invasions over here. It looks like we are still attempting to do that one, and still doing that one as well. So these two, I believe, are the only 2 left to get deployed. Excellent. Alright guys, so the invasion of Australia is going quite well. Marines over here wrapping up this territory. These guys are going for this victory point right over there in the Northern Territory. That'd be the city of Darwin. And we did fail in one of our invasions here. Unfortunately, Brisbane was well defended. We're not able to take it. Instead, we have had to rely on our invasion of Sydney, and we have taken several key capitals, or several key provinces here. Let's go after Melbourne, and let's see if we can't get these guys to push forward here. But overall, going pretty well. This is going to be wrapped up fairly soon, I think, and Australia should be knocked out of the conflict. Our invasions over here going very nicely. We still are about to lock down these 2 invasions, including Midway Island. No resistance, nothing like what we saw in history with the big battle of Midway. And yeah, we've pretty much wrapped up all of this. So there's still no enemy ships here. So I mean, we're probably going to be able to launch an invasion of Hawaii with perhaps no resistance. That's the way it does appear. So we're going to also send off some troops here from Attu Island to go and attack Alaska. Well, at least get them planning on that. And we have an additional division that's going to be able to get sent there as well, though, of course, we don't have any room for it. We got too many invasions going at the moment, apparently. All right, well, that's okay. The attacks on Russia. Obviously, we didn't have enough divisions to do a lot of these attacks, unfortunately. These guys are going to go seize that victory point, though, and try and get them forced out of the war. We're able to seize what I wanted, though, which was Azerbaijan, and that got us the 98 oil. So that's fantastic news. Very pleased with that, honestly. Let's go and push forward here. I am a little bit worried about them coming over here, and these guys are attempting to cut us off as well, so we're going to attack them. We need to get the rest of our troops over here, but yeah, everything's going well. Wrap that up. These troops we're able to cut these guys off, so we'll be able to get them destroyed, and that should be easily wrapped up. Those are American divisions too, so we're doing casualties to the Americans, which is always good to see. Let's go and try and cut these guys off if we can, and we might have to attack across the river to make sure we lock those guys down. It does look like that would be a victory as well. Let's go over this way, cut those guys off from supply, and let's go ahead and seize ourselves another, well, we don't want to go that way. No, we want to cut those guys off. Let me take that back. Stop the madness. Oh, Lord. Stop it. They don't want to stop. I said never! They're die hard, guys. They do not want to stop. Alright, so these guys are going to wrap this up. We'll have them go over here. We do want to get Alexandria, but it's fine. These guys will deploy over here. And really, I'm just trying to get these troops here cut off from supply. So none of that, of course, is the Pacific battles, but there is no Pacific battles. We are not able to engage anything but convoys, sinking a lot of convoys. Should be able to get these guys cut off, maybe. We just did some smarter attacks, and then we get them destroyed. And let's just push forward here where there's no resistance. I'll take that non-aggression pact. Bulgaria, sure, why not? Not able to really cover that whole front. We're not even at war with Mongolia, so we can't advance that front. We did, of course, almost got that victory point. Looks like they decided to bring somebody over there to resist us. That's fine. Not really any locations here where they're not defending, so pretty pointless there. We did get these troops cut off as well as these ones. Let's get them finished off. And all these divisions here are cut off from supply. Should be defeated easily enough. Let's go and push forward here. And here as well. Alright, so that's all green. So that's the current situation over there. The invasions, it looks like were successful. Excellent. We were able to take Midway once again with no resistance. So very, very good news. These guys here, I wanted to get them assigned to this invasion of Alaska. In fact, we'll probably send some Marines there with them as well. We have some Marines sitting over there, and I would like to send a few more troops to Alaska if need be. It doesn't seem like 3 divisions would be quite enough, so we'll probably want to send a couple more. Let's do the ones that are over here. I have 3 of them just sitting here, just asking to fight, man. They just want to fight. So let's go and get them going as well. So it'll be invasion of 6 divisions. One of the limiting factors, of course, is invasion tech. We just don't have very high invasion tech. I should have got that a while ago. So we can't really launch a lot of simultaneous invasions. So as you guys can see here, we have been invading into Egypt. I want to, before I show you guys the naval actions, I wanted to show you guys the inter-service rivalry decisions that Japan has. So you basically have to kind of choose whether you want to favor the Navy or the Army, or you can kind of balance them out. Each decision has 2 different options to them, and you can pick all the Army ones or all the Navy ones. And we have gone with prioritizing naval aircraft construction, as well as the instituting of indiscriminate conscription that increases population. This is pretty obvious what this does. I'm just trying to balance it. With the, for instance, with the steel, we could do steels for guns or steel for ships. And I think we're going to do the next one here. This is Special Forces multiplier, capacity multiplier, and this makes Special Forces better. I'd rather have better Special Forces than more, honestly. So let's form the Special Air Landing Forces. This will actually have us favoring the Navy a little bit, just until we get that last decision done. I think you could take them like every 6 months or so. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys how we did navally in the last month here. And we sunk 46 convoys. We didn't lose any ships. So not bad overall, guys. I had to pull out of the Red Sea. The Red Sea got kind of dangerous for our submarines. We did have to pull out of there because it just wasn't going well, honestly. We do have a destroyer done. Let's go ahead and bring these guys over to here. Once again, we just need to continue building up these fleets here. And I think that, you know what? In fact, let's instead bring this guy over to here and then have him reinforce that fleet. All right, excellent. It does seem that there are some ships here now. Might be able to actually engage them. Yeah, it seems that the Americans now see us as a threat. They're not going to allow us to take Hawaii. Have set up a invasion here, but yeah, it does seem that we're going to face some resistance now. I'm still attempting to engage their fleets, but haven't had any luck thus far. They haven't really been all that interested in fighting me. They don't want none of it, apparently. So let's see if we can't get them to engage us. What we're going to need to do is let's go ahead and start covering these areas here. We're going to have these guys, in fact, cover all these areas. And I don't know how well they're going to be able to do it. Obviously, this is a fairly large region for them to be covering. But now that we've finished these invasions up over here, we can now pull these guys back as well, and then bring them into the new regions, in just the hope that we can engage them somewhere. In fact, I don't know if we're here. We're not. All right, so that looks good. That's where we're going to be covering, and hopefully we can find the enemy and engage them, battle them, see if we can't get a decisive naval victory. I don't know if we'll win or not. Been building our fleet for a while, but doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to win. We have been knocking this out as well. We got Cairo, got the Suez Canal, about to get Alexandria. El Alamein will be ours as well soon. Not yet, though. It doesn't seem that would succeed. Let's see if we can't get behind these guys and just kind of cut all these guys off from supply, honestly. I think that'd be the best way to do this. So let's go ahead and attack over that way. But yeah, overall, so far it's going pretty well. The invasion of Egypt. I don't really want to advance down in Africa, so we'll likely stop soon. I don't expect to invade too much further. We do need to get a bit more air support over here, though, so that would be helpful. And bring them into Egypt. Yeah, that would be extremely helpful. All right, just kind of help our troops out. Once again, not really the focus here, but I figured I'd show you guys how that is going, just in case you're curious. And it does seem that this is wide open, too, so let's go ahead and see if we can attack into there. Get a little bit more territory here. But yeah, the Battle for the Pacific. I'm excited to show you guys a battle, if we can ever engage one. We're sinking convoys, so perhaps our submarines might be the one that pull them in. We are currently wrapping up this territory here in Australia. We're doing pretty good getting these guys destroyed, honestly. They're not really putting up a whole lot of resistance. They don't have a ton of troops, honestly, to really stop us from doing whatever the hell we want here. These guys are kind of wrapping up territory here. We're going for the victory points as well. And I think these guys should be... Oh, actually, yeah, looks like they'll take care of that for us. All right, and then we'll have these guys come over here next. Because I want to say, yeah, they need to go all the way up over here. All right, so doing a fantastic job getting this territory taken. I'm proud of you guys. Proud of you. So let's go make sure that everybody is currently attacking. Make sure that they continue to advance. Front, forward. All right, looking fantastic. Actually, you guys are going to wrap this up for me. And you guys are going to attack right there. Alright, so yeah, Australia should be ours soon, and then we'll basically control everything with the exception of this little patch right here that I guess we could take over. This is saying that we do control it. I think it's just kind of messed up. I don't know. Oh, okay, we control the region. That's right. We haven't done naval invasions here, so we'd have to do some naval invasions if we wanted to make sure that they didn't have any bases to operate out of. We're going to go ahead and accept that. They can join finally. It's about time that they got involved. But they won't be able to do anything because, of course, Mongolia has not been pulled into the conflict just yet. And, yeah, it does look like we're having some problems advancing to the frontier. Go ahead and push those guys there. And just like that, Australia has capitulated. Fantastic news. So there is one Australian division here that we have to get destroyed. So let's wrap him up. And Australia is now ours, guys. So that's going to get us, of course, you know, factories. They got a little bit of factories here. Military factories, civilian factories, resources, all that kind of good stuff. And now we can focus solely on the invasion of Hawaii. That's really our goal here, guys. And from Hawaii, we'd be able to invade the Pacific coast of America next. Of course, we have our invasion here as well. Preparing. We do need to get these Marines sent over here. And yeah, I think that the invasion of Alaska should go without any resistance. Not so sure about the Pacific invasion. I would assume that there's going to be some American divisions there. Still have not found the damn American fleet here. They're here, but we cannot locate them, largely because we don't have enough patrol task force, honestly. What I think we're going to do, in fact, is we no longer are really getting invaded here any longer. So it might behoove us to actually change this up, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and pull. These guys are all repairing. They did get a bit of damage. So much for not battling anybody over here. So let's go ahead and pull one of these guys, and then we're going to have them merge with these guys. And then these ones are going to be moving over to his fleet, Yamamoto's. Try and get a bit more assistance on trying to locate the enemy here. Alright, so with the month of March over, let's take a look at how we did in the Navy for last month. Looks like we sunk 1 American submarine, we lost 5 convoys, and sunk 22 convoys. So overall, not really much going on there. We have stalled out across this front. These guys aren't very good. Honestly, there's a lot of these are reserve troops. I don't really have a ton of troops, guys, so I just sent what I had over here. But with this area here wrapped up, has allowed me to bring 1 army over to there. But overall, having some trouble with the Soviets. But the main point is, of course, we did take the region we needed, and Moscow was almost in Axis hands. We have some spare air experience, so I should probably go ahead and spend that. Been saving the Navy experience for those ships that we got building. We have finished up in Egypt as well. I'm not going to advance any further. This is really not my goal, is not to conquer Africa. I don't want to get embroiled in it. So we're going to stop here in Egypt. We could conquer the rest of it and I guess stop right there. I suppose that's an option. I guess we might as well do it, just to stop in a more natural place, I suppose. So we'll want to go like this way, and then we'll have these divisions go up that way. And we'll stop right there. That'll give us control of the whole Egyptian territory here. And I think that's probably solid for a good stopping point in that region. So the invasion of Hawaii, I think, is just about prepared. Just taking a look here. I think it's this army, yes. They have 3 more days to launch before they'll be able to launch. I don't know if we want to launch them immediately. I've been trying to engage the American fleets that are throughout here, but so far, not able to. Unfortunately, they just won't fight us. Alright guys, with no expectation of ever meeting the American fleet, I say let's just go ahead and attack Hawaii. So we're going to have to go ahead and send both of these fleets over here, and hopefully that'll allow us to launch our invasions. And let's go ahead and make that happen. I'm pretty sure these guys are ready to go. Let's launch them. Let's see if we can grab Hawaii up. And that would be a massive victory for the Japanese Empire. We are now winning over here now that I was able to get actual regular troops over here that we pulled from that invasion. So now that we have decent troops, we should be able to start pushing forward and start cutting off divisions and all that kind of good stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Looks like we're having some difficulty in some of these areas. It is very mountainous terrain. I've also sent some regular troops over to here that we just finished up training. And most importantly, guys, Moscow just fell. Excellent. So hopefully they'll be ready to capitulate. But yeah, most importantly, we got bicycle troops, guys. It took me long enough to get the damn bicycle battalions, but we got them. So that's awesome. And then these guys here, they're going to go over here and help us out on this front. So these are the regular divisions that I just moved from Japan. I don't think we need those there. I was going to use them for another plan, but ended up not needing them. But yeah, I really hope that we can get this advancing. Let's go ahead and speed this up a bit. I was wondering why it's kind of going slow. So yeah, we'll want to get those troops out of Hawaii, and hopefully they succeed in their invasion. In fact, I kind of just want to watch that. I just want the invasion to happen. I want to see if we're going to meet resistance. We do have a little bit of support as well, and it does seem there is no resistance, guys. Hawaii will be ours in mere moments. Yeah, there's no divisions here. And just like that, and we have finished up. We're really behind on artillery tech, if you can't tell. The fall of Pearl Harbor. The Japanese forces have stormed and taken Honolulu, the largest city on the Hawaiian Islands. So let's get these wrapped up. And just in case we meet a little bit of resistance, we'll send them all the way across. 2 divisions. And that's excellent news, guys. Hawaii is taken. And next, it's going to be the invasion of Alaska. In fact, we're going to go ahead and get these guys ready. I don't know if they're ready to deploy just yet. No, we need a little bit more time. All right, we are currently spotting an enemy fleet, guys. It looks like it's about 66 ships. 13 to 15 are capital ships. It doesn't seem that we have our main fleet here, though we do have these guys here who were attempting to escort them. I don't know if they engaged us or if we're engaging them, but our task force have got to get here quickly because they would easily be able to sink this fleet here. So we'll have to see how that goes, and I highly doubt we'll be able to get air assistance. It does seem they ran. They fled. Cowards. Alright, so that's unfortunate. I was really hoping that we'd be able to engage them. I think the airbase is actually over here. So I was really hoping to be able to engage them, but it looks like they did flee. The good news is, though, that there is an American fleet somewhere. Yeah, it looks like they fled. They don't want any of it. Yep, still unable to engage the Americans. The AI in this patch, from my experience, seems to be very adverse to naval combat. I think that's why their ships last longer. Not so much because they're better at managing them, but because they just don't engage in naval combat. I have a lot of trouble in both of my campaigns. Really being able to engage the fleet, honestly. Alright guys, so those battleships are finally done researching. So let's go ahead and get those built. We're going to get the 1940 battleship hull started up here. Let's go ahead and start with the armor. We're going to put full battleship armor 3 on there. We'll put the heavy battery 3 on there, as well as the anti-air. Get the new engines on there too. We're going to try and keep these above 30 knots if we can. Let's put radars on there. That doesn't really affect the speed at all. So we're going to try and get one more large gun, and we're going to put it onto the rear. So this would be heavy battery 3. We can get further large guns, but they would have to be size 1. And honestly, I would prefer to get the dual-purpose secondary. I think that would be far more useful for us than to have a bunch of little guns. So let's just take a look how this looks. Heavy battery 1 is the only one that doesn't decrease the speed. So that looks pretty squared away. And these guys are going to be really, really good at taking out the light ships. They might not be high enough for heavy attack, but I like the high anti-air. Let's just take a look and see if we were to like switch one of these up here, how that would look. We'd probably want to put it, probably right there, I would imagine. If we wanted to switch this up, how would that change things? Light attack drops quite a bit, so does air attack, but we do get a lot more heavy. But you're noticing the piercing will drop from that because we're putting another crappier gun on there. Yeah, I like this one fine. This is good actually. For the fire control, let's do fire control 3. You'll notice that also will tick up our combat ability quite a bit, both anti-air, light attack, and our heavy attack. So let's go ahead and put that in there. It does reduce the reliability a little bit, but that's fine. And the battleship class name is going to be the Yari 3A. You know, obviously Yari is going to be the class name, and then 3 for this being the 1940 ships, and then A for this being the first variant of it. Let's go ahead and save that, and we're going to get these constructing. I think that getting these in battle will be super helpful. So we need to finish up the current one that we got going. But that's fine. Let's go ahead and put a full line of dockyards into those. We're going to have to pull probably from the submarines, I imagine. Yeah, that'd probably be the best thing to pull from. And probably from the cruisers as well. We're kind of building 2 lines of cruisers already. So yeah, I think might as well pull from these guys. And there we go. Excellent. So we have 2 lines of carriers going, 2 lines of battleships going. It'll be really useful getting those into the Navy, but of course it's irrelevant if we can't ever engage them. Let's take a look and see if these guys are ready to deploy just yet. Looks like we cannot just deploy because we do not have coverage here. We need coverage of both of these regions, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and extend these guys, although they might not be able to reach. Yeah, it looks like they can't reach. We might have to use submarines. We might not even be able to launch at all, honestly. If we don't pull... Yeah, these guys are way the hell over here. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to launch over here, honestly. I think we'll go ahead and try and see if they can cover it enough for us to be able to do the invasions. We'll let them get over there. And we could also assign, I suppose we can go ahead and give them one of these. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them this guy here. And we will just, is it these guys? We'll just assign this one over here so that he can help them out here. So hopefully he'll go and cover them and help them out here. So we'll wait to send them till we get the submarines over here, till we get that escort fleet over here as well. And that's going to take a little bit of time to get them here. Looks like we have some ships currently repairing here as well, and not Two Island. That's not the best place to repair, honestly. Let's go ahead and tell them not to repair there. It's a shitty place to repair. So I should make sure that all of our... It's kind of, you got to constantly manage this and make sure that you aren't, you know, having this set where they're going to repair in garbage locations, because they absolutely will. They always go to the smallest base available and decide that's where they're going to repair. It's pretty nonsensical, honestly. I think they should pick the biggest one. I want to say that might be something that's coming new in the 1.6.1 patch. Let's assign these guys over here, and then we'll just take one of the garbage divisions out. Yeah, we'll just take, well, I want one that has a little bit less experience. How about that guy? Yeah, we'll pull that guy out, put him into this army. All right, the 13th Army has their escorts, so let's go ahead and get them sent. We're going to be invading Alaska. This is the first invasion of American continental territory. Hopefully this succeeds. I don't expect much from this, obviously, because it's such rough terrain. So I don't really expect to have much success advancing here. But perhaps it'll pull divisions off. They'll have to come fight these troops here. It's only 6 divisions, so I don't know how well they're going to be able to hold that land. Switzerland has capitulated. Germany declared war on Switzerland, if you didn't see that. Not really surprising. And yeah, we're going to have to do an invasion with the Marines here. In fact, we'll probably send a few more Marines. Probably have like a full 10 divisions going to attack one of these cities. I don't know which one would be the least defended, honestly. But hopefully we can get into it. I don't see any ships over here, guys. It feels like the Americans are focusing solely on the Pacific or the European theater here in the Mediterranean and just along the coast here. I mean, they're all in the Atlantic as well. I mean, you can see that they're in the Caribbean for whatever reason. Just kind of odd that the AI hasn't reacted to the fact that I've conquered Hawaii and that I am poised to attack their Pacific coast with no resistance. And just like that, the Soviet Union has capitulated. You can't really see what I took here, but yeah, I took all the way up here and all down the coast here. And pushed up a little bit on the other territory, but for the most part, they did kind of stall us out right here because we had such shitty divisions. But yeah, we pushed forward there quite a bit. And definitely over here, where I sent all those new divisions. So yeah, they have capitulated, and that's given us access to some extra stuff. Germany has already done all their stuff. Yes, they've done a lot. It looks like there's really not a lot to do. You can't puppet them. Did they take everything? That's what it kind of seems like. There's only really that to be taken. That's all we can take. It looks like everything else has already been taken. Now, Germany did have the majority of the war score against them, so it makes sense. They've been fighting them for a long time, and I kind of popped into this in the last moment. It's kind of a bummer, though, that we are not able to do anything here. We can do, like, satelliting and stuff, but I want to say that those territories have already been taken. So I don't think there's any territory left to take. So we're only going to get this, which is kind of a shame, because there's really not much there. But that's all we can do. Unfortunately, we got one thing out of it. I was really hoping to get these resource centers over here, but we just didn't do enough, apparently, to get a war score on it. Now, Germany had been fighting this war against the Soviet Union for a little while now. So, for like a good almost a year, they've been fighting this conflict. They're the ones who really defeated them, so I suppose it makes sense. We were kind of like the Soviet Union in history when they attacked Japan at the last moment, but they even got more than we did from this. But we got something, so I guess there's that. So we'll have to take a look, see what Germany did in that conflict. Yeah, they just conquered it all. Romania got quite a bit as well. Romania is beastie. But yeah, Germany took the majority of it. That's kind of cool. And they decided not to puppet anybody. They just took all the territory. And this territory here didn't really have anything but an airbase. So that's all we got from that. The Soviets did sink one of my destroyers with their bombers, probably from that location. So it's good that we got that conflict over. We can now move our troops elsewhere. And we did sink 2 more American submarines. But same situation here, guys. There is a fleet here, a small fleet. But it doesn't look like much. It's a Dutch fleet. So probably not going to find anything. We've been trying to locate him here for a little while. Alright guys, so we have our invasion planning here to attack San Diego. I figured that's the best place to attack because then it allows us to move down the Baja California Peninsula, take Tijuana, kind of take over all this because remember Mexico is in the Allies despite being fascist. That allows us to grab San Diego, which is I think the largest naval base on the Pacific coast, and we can also go ahead and take Los Angeles as well. I don't know how well this is going to be successful. We're going to send 10. We're going to send 10 divisions over there. Over here, we are currently attempted to get back our troops back over to here. We actually did get pushed back here. We're having a lot of difficulty holding it. We're actually about to get cut off, mere moments away from getting cut off. I want to say 19 hours. Because they were able to push us back here, unfortunately. And yeah, it does seem that we're going to get cut off here. Yeah, I think they beat us here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go ahead and start prepping to build another naval base because I'm pretty sure they're about to seize that from us. So we're going to want to build like a naval base like over here, somewhere where we can hopefully not get defeated. In fact, we might build a couple just in case. We're going to take those up to the top because, yeah, we're getting our ass kicked in Alaska. We just didn't send enough divisions. I have more divisions on their way. But I don't think they're going to arrive in time, and of course we won't have a naval base for them to go to, so that's going to be an issue. It looks like we're going to lose Alaska, unfortunately. That hasn't gone well. The Americans have pumped troops up there. They're not happy about us being there, so all those divisions there might get lost, unfortunately, but maybe that might open the southern half of the country, open for invasion. With the Soviet Union capitulated, we were able to pull a ton of troops off, and they're prepared to invade America as soon as we get an open port. Obviously, we couldn't pump a bunch up here. I think I only had 10 total set to go. We have a total of 6 there, so I sent 4 more. I'm building it up, but overall, this is not a great region to be pumping troops into. Really, it was just kind of a distraction. And yeah, you guys can see they took it very serious, obviously. So before we end the episode, I would like to build some ships. We got our destroyer hulls and we got our submarine hulls. Let's go ahead and do these submarines first because they're a little bit easier. Let's do historical submarines, and let's go ahead and get submarine engine 3s. Yeah, change those engines up, and then torpedoes maybe all the way across. Yeah, probably just torpedoes across because I don't think we have... Oh, we do have the snorkels. Oh, and we got radar. Okay, excellent. But we have to choose. Oh, that's tough. You gotta choose either the snorkels, which will decrease your visibility substantially. So that's pretty awesome. So it's less likely to detect you. However, getting radar makes it much easier for you to detect the enemy ships to actually get them sunk. And it also increases your attack, though that doesn't really help much. Honestly, although I would like to get snorkels and make them less likely to be attacked, take less casualties. I mean, I guess they've been doing pretty good about staying hidden. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them snorkels. I think that'd be for the best. It's kind of a bummer that you're so limited. I'd like to be able to get both, but they make you make a choice. So I guess that's a fun design choice. I imagine that once you get the 1944 submarines, then you'll be able to get both. All right, so we have our attack submarines. Let's go ahead and save that and get these guys deployed. Right under here. Yes, we did lose a lot of dockyards as well, unfortunately, with that Soviet collapse. So we're gonna have to just finish. This is actually, we just finished that, so we can go to get rid of these. We're not really losing much production here, honestly. And let's just pull these back so we can get some going towards our new submarines. What I didn't realize is I actually had 2 lines of attack cruisers going. That's right, because I had an abundance of dockyards. No longer the case. So let's just build one of these, get these guys done, and we'll just pull from that one so that we'll have plenty of room here for the dockyards. Alright, so that's looking pretty great. We still need to finish these carriers as well. We're going to get the carrier on the 27th of October. We get the next battleship on the 14th of December 1943, so that's quite a ways away. We might never actually see them used. We also lost a lot of factories there as well when we lost some of that territory that we had of the Soviets. Alright, so that situation has been fixed. Now we need to get some destroyers. And in fact, we'll likely get 2 different types of destroyers here. We're just going to duplicate this so that we actually have, so that we don't lose that base model. And we're going to do historical destroyers. And this one here is going to be our sub-destroyers. They're going to get the torpedoes so they can at least defend themselves. But obviously we're definitely going to want to have some sonar on here. You can only get 1 sonar on your ships. We'll get the anti-air as well. And let's do, I want to say that that's the best one. Yes, it is. So we'll get that on here. And then we're probably going to want to have mostly anti-submarine depth charges. We could, in fact, lay it completely out with that and then have a fantastic depth charge. You know, that's exactly what we're going to do. I think that would be the best thing for this ship. All right, so these will be our sub-hunters. Looking pretty damn good. Let's go and save that. And then we're going to want to get 1 more destroyer. Do we want to do it off of this one and duplicate it? Or would that cost more? I can't see how it could possibly cost more, because with the base model we actually have to put everything on there. So yeah, we'll do it this way. Let's go ahead and duplicate this, and then we're just going to make a few adjustments. Yeah, because we're keeping the torpedoes, the engines, keeping the radar in there. Probably keep the sonar as well. Because yeah, destroyers just don't seem worth putting the fire control on. They just don't do enough damage, honestly. And so it would be good to be able to attack subs, because we'll probably leave 1 depth charge on here, even though this is going to be largely a support one. So what we're going to be changing these up to is probably just anti-air. So they provide very good anti-air coverage. Yep, that would probably be for the best. Or we could do torpedo destroyers. That's quite tempting as well, honestly. Where can we put torpedoes? We could just... I don't want to remove their ability to attack subs. I don't think that would be wise. So this is actually where we're going to go ahead and do it. We'll put the torpedoes here because you can't put torpedoes here. So that's where we'll put the depth charges so that we can at least have depth charges on here. And yeah, this is pretty damn good. The torpedo attack is 108.0, so yeah, I like that. Let's go and save that. And then, you know what? We're going to go ahead and design one more destroyer just because we have the experience. All right, so this is going to be our AA destroyer. We'll keep the depth charges on there. I think that would be a good option. However, let's go ahead and put anti-air in the other 2 slots. Alright, so that they can help provide good anti-air coverage. I don't know how many we'll build of each of these. But yeah, it's just slightly different designs. Not vastly different, but all of them do have the ability to detect and destroy subs, which I think is kind of important because that's the destroyer's main job, in my opinion, for our fleets. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just tick these to just build one more, and then we're going to just set these, all of them to build. I'd like to get the torpedo destroyers because we don't have anything like that right now. We've only have anti-sub destroyers. So we're going to get those underneath here first, and then we're also going to want to get the AA destroyer underneath. So apparently I messed it up and deleted those sub hunters. So we got that fixed. That should allow us to have, yeah, 3 different designs here, and we need to get the sub hunters into here now. All right, excellent. So once they finish building, then they'll go to these, which is kind of, I think we'll go 5 dockyards to the torpedo destroyers, and probably just a few going into those ones in here as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I like this. In fact, let's go and tick these up. We're gonna want to get them assigned to our base, of course, but that doesn't need to be done right now because it is actually going to be the end of the episode. I wanted to end on some ship designing, and I wanted to see how much experience we'd have, so I could use that for this research slot. Use some of that Navy experience because probably not going to be designing any ships anytime soon. We don't get the next models until 1944. So that is the end of the episode, guys. Next episode, we're going to be invading the Pacific coast here. We're going to send 10 Marines. I don't know if that's going to be enough, honestly. You know what I should probably do with this tech slot is I really need to get these. I've been neglecting them. Where are they at? The landing craft. We should really get this, guys, so we can send more divisions. Yeah, you're probably wondering, well, how the hell did he not get this up to this point? Honestly, I haven't really ran into the issue with it. I've only been doing, you know, invasions of like 10 divisions. I didn't really face any resistance. So I was able to send like 1 division on to attack every single island, every location, because there just hasn't been much resistance. There's one little bit of resistance for this island here, the Christmas Island. It's important because Christmas is important, obviously. So they did defend there. Obviously, we had that issue here in the one port right there in Brisbane, and that's about it. I don't think I faced too much resistance in the naval invasion, so I was just sending one division at a time. And therefore, I didn't really run into any problems with the limit, and so I never went and got the tech. Obviously, for the invasion of America, we're definitely going to want it, though, so we can send more divisions. I think we might lose Alaska. Looks pretty likely. I don't even have any way to deal with it. These guys are retreating here. They're obviously not going to get there in time. Maybe we can get a port built here in time to save the troops, but even then, advancing is going to be incredibly difficult, advancing into the mountains here. So even then we'd be stuck here until we got more troops, and that may not even be enough. So honestly, in a difficult position here in Alaska. So hopefully we can relieve some pressure from them with this invasion of the Pacific coast. Still don't know why I can't engage the fleet, guys. They're just, this whole series was supposed to be about naval battles, and there hasn't been many. We've just not been able to engage the United States in the seas. We had one battle total with the capital ships. We're in 1942, and remember that the war did start early in this campaign, and yet, still only one large naval battle. Just can't get them to fight us. They have a ton of ships. They have 200 something ships. If you want to look at our current number, guys, we currently have 211. So might even be comparable to their fleet now. And remember, they've got to fight on 2 different oceans. So I don't know why we can't engage them, and it's kind of frustrating. Why they won't fight me? The damn cowards. Yeah, you don't even see them in any of these territories. They pretty much have completely backed out of the Pacific at this point, just defending their Atlantic lands here. Maybe their Atlantic seas, I should say. Maybe the Germans have been, using a lot of submarines. I highly doubt it, though. Yeah, they got maybe 30 ships. The British are still stacked on ships, too. 200-something ships. Once again, don't really see them either. That's not surprising. They don't really have too much here. They have one little island that we should probably knock out. We should probably get that one island just so they can't And I guess you could also help out here in South America too. Remember, Peru is in our faction. They're not really fighting anybody though, so I guess there's not really any point to that. And then of course we have the Dominican Republic. The United States have launched multiple invasions into the Dominican Republic and just failed miserably every time. They just have not been able to take it so far. Hopefully next episode they'll try and stop this invasion and actually send some ships over here to try and resist. Otherwise, this is going to be. I don't think we'll have trouble attacking San Diego. I can't imagine that they'd have enough troops to resist a 10 well-designed divisions, and then if we're able to get that tech beforehand, which I'd probably launch before then because that's 143 days. So if we can't take it, then we'll get the tech and then launch even more. Really, the main focus here is going to be trying to save the Alaskan troops and make sure that this front stays open if at all possible. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Hope to see you on the next episode. I can't really say when that's going to be yet, guys. I still have to work the next several days. So I'd say it'd probably definitely be after the weekend because I'm working most of the weekend. So it's going to be sometime early next week, and that might end up being the final episode as well if we end up succeeding here and advancing into the United States. Yeah, that could end up being the last episode of the series. So, as I said, hope to see you on that one whenever it comes out, and thanks for watching.